Yo, what is up everybody? It is Chimpso here, and today we are finally going to be talking about Jungle Singe. Now, this is something I've been asked to make a video on since pretty much I began the channel, or the channel began to get big. Everyone seems to want to know what Jungle Singe does, or if it works, or, how to build it. And the reason why I never made a video was because Singe wasn't a very good jungler before Season 6. Cinderhulk was pretty much the only thing you could go on him, and now that it's been nerfed to hell, it's not really that viable. And it really wasn't that good on him because as Singe, you sort of want to go for damage early on and, transition into tank a little bit later. He's an AP bruiser. He's not really a tank. So I never liked Cinderhulk on him, which is why I never really played Singe jungle. I played the odd game here and there, but I never wanted to make a video on it because there were junglers that just did what he did better. You want to just run at someone and gank them, play Rammus. There's no need to play Singed. But with the introduction of Runic Echoes, it's sort of, decent now. I almost even say good. It's risky, and there are not a lot of times where you should be picking it, but it definitely can work. Now, what do I mean by not a lot of times where you should be picking it? Well, when you play top lane Singe, you have two main opponents. You have the enemy top laner and the enemy jungler. When you play jungle Singe, you have 5 opponents, the entire enemy team. So, if the enemy bot lane is, Vayne Morgana, and your top lane Singe, you can still play Singe into that game, obviously. It's going to be difficult once the team fighting phases start, but you can definitely still play and do well if your top laner isn't somebody with a lot of CC. But, jungle Singe, you're never going to get a gank on bot lane. They're just going to kite you, they're just going to knock you back, snare you, stun you. You're not going to be able to do anything. And, if the whole enemy team is like that, then obviously it's pretty stupid to play Jungle Singe, which is why I've been learning a lot of new junglers recently to sort of make up for that. But, yeah, if you're in a situation where you can play Jungle Singe and you can go for those ganks on laners, it's definitely really damn effective. So, I'm going to go over the runes and masteries, the item build that I go, and sort of some just general strategies, how to clear the jungle, how to gank, and my thoughts on how it will be going into the future. So anyways, runes are hybrid pen marks, armor seals, AP glyphs, and move speed quints. Pretty standard Singe rune page. Obviously, when I go those hybrid pen marks because jungle monsters have armor, so you'll be auto attacking them a lot during your fling cooldowns while your poison is running. So you obviously want to take those hybrid pen marks. Masteries, I go 0, 12, 18. I don't take Thunderlords. I instead go for Strength of the Ages and the Resolve Tree. It's just a great jungling mastery, and it helps you transition into a tankier beast in the mid game. So I do like going for that. You can go for, Thunderlords if you want, but it's just preference. I prefer to go for Strength of the Ages, because you will be going damage early on, and you will be taking a bit of a beating from the jungle monsters, so that extra HP certainly does help. Now, onto the item build. This is a very movement speed-centric Singe build. You want to be focusing a lot on movement speed and items that give you movement speed. So you will be going for that Runic Echoes either first or second after your Rylai's. You obviously always run a rush to Stalker's Blade, which is my preferred jungle enchant. You can go for the Sightstone jungle upgrade, but I don't personally like it. I don't really find too much use for it. My Warding Totem normally does well for me, so I just hold on to that. But you can definitely go for that if you want. I just prefer Chilling Smite. And you obviously will be going into Runic Echoes. But if you want, you can go for some defense early on. You can build parts of your Rylai's, which will be your second item. You always want to get Rylai's on Singed. You can build parts of your Rylai's first. So, you take a bit of a beating in the jungle. Maybe go for that Giant Spell first while you have your Stalker's Blade and then go into the Runic Echoes. So you can definitely do that. But if you're doing okay, just rush the Runic Echoes straight up. You can go for the Aether Wisp fairly early on, and it gives you quite a bit of movement speed. Helps out your ganks, so you definitely want to go Runic Echo. So that is the core focus of this build, because it gives you that 10% movement speed. It's basically like having, 10 less movement speed than Tier 2 boots, Tier 2 Merc Treads, or Ninja Tabi. It's really damn good. It gives you so much more speed. Now, second item, you obviously want to go Rylai's, because, it's Rylai's on Singed. There's no other alternative. You do not want to go any mana items, no Tier, no Rod of Ages, none of that shit. Always just go Runic Echoes into Rylai's. The Runic Echoes passive will provide you with all the mana sustain you need. Now, for your boots, you obviously want to go with whatever fits the situation. Now, the dream is to get Swiftness boots every game, but obviously you can't do that. Sometimes you're going to need Merc Treads, sometimes you're going to need Ninja Tabi. Look at the enemy team. They have a lot of CC, they have a lot of AD, then you obviously need to change your boot choice. But generally, core would be Swiftness boots. However, like I said, don't take it as gospel. You're going to need to adapt to whatever game you're playing, or whatever the enemy team is. make sure you pick your boots properly. Okay, with that out of the way, let's just take a look at Jungle Singe and talk about why he's good in my opinion and why I would actually like playing him. And the reason that is because he's very versatile. You can sort of do everything with Jungle Singed. If you want to just gank 24/7, you can do that. You can get fed off of those kills, and you can snowball the map out of control. You can be that unstoppable Singe that we all love. Or, you know, if you just want to farm all game, you know, maybe team's not doing so well, can't really gank without getting killed, then you can just sit in your jungle and farm 24/7. Because the Singe scales pretty well with farm as well, so you can still hit your mid-game power spikes, get your allies with all that farm, and still have quite a bit of health because of that Strength of the Ages mastery. So, you can really do pretty much everything with Singe. He's not the crazy best ganker out there, but once you hit 6, you can blow ult and ghost and just run into a lane, and even if they flash, generally you'll still be able to catch them, because he's just so damn fast. Especially if you have your Swiftness boots and your Runic echoes as well, they're not getting away. You're pretty much going to catch anybody and outrun anyone. As you saw with that little preview video I posted a couple days ago, yeah, you can even outrun a Master Yi who flashed on you with his ult running, with red buff, with everything popped. So it's pretty crazy what you can do with all that movement speed. You can get off some really good ganks. But obviously you won't be able to do that all the time. You're relying on your cooldowns, and you pretty much can only gank when your ult's up. You can't really gank without either your ult or your ghost. You have to play around both of them. So you can really only gank once every 100 seconds or so early in mid-game. So you can spend the rest of that time farming and just focusing on getting your Rallies after your Runic Echoes, hitting your power spike, and then transitioning into a late game with your tank items. So for your tank items that you'll be getting after Rallies, obviously you want to go for that Dead Man's Plate as soon as possible, because it just fits with the core theme of the build. Very move speed focused build. Dead Man's Plate is obviously great for that, and just great for Singe in general. But, you know, if the enemy team doesn't have any AD, then obviously you don't want to go for a Dead Man's Plate. Consider Locket of the Iron Solari if they have a lot of AP. Very good for the team aura if the support's not building it. So as the jungler, you probably should be building it unless your top lane is building it or something. But Locket of the Iron Solari, very good for helping the team out. But if you want to be selfish, you can go for a Banshee's Vow or a Abyssal Scepter if you're feeling even more greedy. You're going to be really greedy as Singe jungle. You can't really... you need a lot of gold for your items, so feel free to tax lanes every now and again. Feel free to... I remember one time I was up against a Tahm Kench in the top lane, and he and Master Yi secured the Rift Herald. So I just went and proxied his lane, so he couldn't even use the Rift Herald buff because he had no minions. It was pretty funny. But, yeah, don't be afraid to be greedy. Take those blue buffs if you really want them. Obviously, if your mid lane is doing really well and they are mana using mage, then obviously give it to them. But if they're sort of doing just average, then you can probably just take the blue buffs, use that golden experience and that mana regen, and just power farm your jungle. Thornmail and Frozen Heart are also very good armor items against very heavy AD focused teams. If you get both of them together, it's actually really damn crazy because of Thornmail's ability to do extra damage based on your bonus armor. So you can basically be unkillable if the enemy team is not too fed. So full AD teams never been that good against Singed. They used to be better in the past because basically Singed never gained MR per level in the past until, you know, sort of halfway through last year. So he was really good against AD teams because if there's no AP, then that weakness just doesn't exist. But now that he does gain AP per level, I mean, it's the same obviously, but it's not as, my eyes don't light up as much when I see a full AD team in Champion Select. But you could definitely go for that Frozen Heart and Thornmail on top of your Dead Man's Plate, and just nothing will be able to kill you unless they're ridiculously fed. So we covered ganking already, let's cover clearing the jungle. Now, early on, it's sort of difficult. You sort of want to kite the creeps around in your poison, but remember while you're doing that, you do lose the damage from your auto attacks. What I like to do early on is do, you know, the first camp, Gromp, or Krugs, and then go for the buff. Fling the buff. Obviously, you'll start poison against the camps. It actually does do more damage to start poison. I know you might think, hey, you know, maybe starting fling would work because you have percent health damage, but actually starting poison does do more damage. So you do want to start poison, and you only need to toggle your poison on once every 3 seconds, because obviously it stays on the creeps for a certain amount of time, so don't keep your poison on, toggle it on for one puff, then off, then toggle it back on. Conserve your mana, because fling costs a lot of mana, and fling is very good for clearing the jungle, because it does percent health damage. So once you clear the first camp, you have your level 2, get your fling, go for the buff, the first buff. You want to fling it, and sort of, you know, scar auto attack it, of course, and then sort of drag it around for a bit. When it catches up to you, auto attack it some more, drag it back out. You're basically waiting for your fling cooldown to come back up so you can fling it again. And just try and take as little damage from it as possible. And if you do that, Then you have your smite up once it's done, and you can head to the second buff. Just head straight to the second buff. If you're a bit too low, maybe you just suck at kiting the creeps. I do it sometimes. But if you're sort of low, then you can just go for the the wolf camp or the raptors and just get 350 gold off of that. Or if you're too low for even that, just recall with the 250 you have and pick up a hunter's potion. You'll be going for a hunter's potion anyway first because it's just very good for the sustain in the jungle. Now, maybe you don't think it's necessary, maybe you're okay with just refillable potion, but I really like Hunter's Potion on Singe, so I recommend going for that instead. After that, there's really no secret to clearing the jungle. You don't really have to conserve mana as much once you have your Runic Echoes, but you can use the exact same principle before you have Runic Echoes for literally every camp. Fling, kite them back a bit, couple auto attacks here and there, wait till your fling comes back up, fling again, a couple of auto attacks, and you can pretty much kill any jungle camp, taking the minimal amount of damage. Now, as for the matchups, Singe is good against pretty much every jungler that is squishy and can't really catch up to him. So he's not too good against Master Yi or Lee Sin because obviously they can get on top of you very easily. Master Yi is a nightmare. Do not pick jungle Singe if Master Yi is in the game. But things like Shaco, who are very squishy and can't really chase you, will be punished heavily if they try to with your Runic Echoes because you will be going for a lot of AP early on. So you will hurt them quite a bit if they attempt to chase you down. But tanky junglers are sort of a pain, or bruiser type junglers like Rek'Sai, Maokai, Malphite, stuff like that. They're not really that easy to kill and they can sort of lock you down, and since you're squishy early on, they do quite a bit of damage. So you pretty much want to wait until you get your Rylais to do anything to them. Hopefully you can kite them in team fights and sort of keep them away from your team. But yeah, Singe is pretty good against those squishy junglers, like even good against things like sort of Diana. Things that are squishy and can't really keep up with them too well, will have to blow a lot of time and resources to do so. He's very good against junglers like that. So there you have it, folks. Jungle Singed. I recommend you give him a try, see what you think. He's pretty damn fun. I mean, it's Singe in the jungle. What more could you want? But yeah, give him a try, see what you think, and let me know what you thought of it below, because I'm still obviously thinking up ways to build him, and this is just my initial thoughts after maybe about half a dozen games. So tell me what you think, leave your comments below, and give it a try. Like I said, it's pretty damn fun, and once you get used to it, once you get used to the clears, it's pretty damn fluid as well, and very versatile. Now, just a note, for any of you hipsters who are thinking about taking, Singe top with Smite and going for Runic Echoes, don't. Do not do that. There's absolutely no reason to give up the lane utility of either Ignite or Teleport by going for Smite instead. It's pretty much completely useless in lane, unless you're going for like Skirmisher's Saber on a Shyvana or some shit, and even then, that's shit now anyway, so don't go for that. Stick with Ignite or Teleport in top lane, preferably Teleport. Do not go Smite Singe in top. I've tried to make it work, it doesn't work. Don't do it, okay? That's it. Just a PSA. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed that video, guys. Thank you all for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. I'll be making more Singe content very soon, obviously. Ranked season has started, so we're going to be getting back into ranked games. I know you're all pretty excited for. You're getting sick of all the normal games, I'm guessing. But yeah, I'll catch you on the next video, guys. Have a great day.